All right, well, hello everybody, thanks for coming. We just wanted to give a few little updates on things around here. For me, I was gonna just mention one, I think everybody, or most people know this by now, but so we did open the first floor of the north building. There's 2 priests residing there now, with a couple more on their way, a little bit down the road, but on their way. So, I mean, it seems to be going well. They seem to like it there. Still, you know, things come up that we didn't think of along the way that we're having to still address, but overall, I think it's going well. For everybody that doesn't know maybe the background, I'm gonna pull this down. So basically, there was an agreement reached with the Archdiocese of Louisville to take the first floor of that building and create it's independent living. They're just renting an apartment. There's no nursing or no service outside of, they do get meals, even though the 2 guys that are here aren't here very much. I don't think they've eaten here very much at all, but that is a service that's available to them. And then, you know, we do housekeeping and maintenance, you know, if it was needed. So that's kind of the backstory of how this evolved. And so we did a little renovation project over there that was kind of just a cosmetic deal, really, paint and flooring and, you know, some minor changes. There are about 70 priests in Louisville. I didn't really know this. There's about 70 retired priests right now, around that number, I believe. And there hasn't been, they've wanted to have some environment where they could live together in community. Typically, most priests don't live that way. Diocesan priest, if it's a brother or somebody like that, then yes, they would. But so that's kind of the backstory, and it sounded like there's some interesting living accommodations for some of the priests out in the community, and it was to try to help address some of that as well. So it's a great opportunity. We're happy about it. There is a plan to do the 2nd floor eventually. There's not a timeline on that or anything, but you know, that is in the works. The other thing I was going to mention was, so we are working on a plan to, so we have here, we just have 12 personal care rooms that are over there on that 100 hall, they call it. So there's 12 rooms there, and then there's the rooms that most commonly we're referred to around here as the CCRC rooms that are on the, they're technically on the 500 unit. I think they're numbered as 400 rooms, but they're technically on the 500 unit. Those have different licensing categories, and basically we were trying to change around some of the licensure, and everything would be nursing. So that's something that we've been working on. We will hopefully know more the end of October. That's kind of the deadline for some of those filings, but that's something that we're working on. And I guess what that means is, so right now we have this limited number of personal care rooms available that honestly we don't get a lot of interest in. That's not our bread and butter kind of core thing that we do. So we would convert those to nursing beds just like the rest of the facility, and just be able to deliver those services there. So that's kind of in essence what that means. Then there was something else I was going to mention, but I can't think of what it is.
Furniture.
So we're still working on this, but so the 2nd floor of that building is absolutely crammed full of furniture. It's literally lining the hallways. It's also in the basement. That building has a basement, and the basement is also full of furniture. A lot of it is stuff that just needs to be tossed, honestly, and it's just never happened. So we were going to sort through the stuff that really just needs to be gotten rid of, and what was going to be left, we were going to kind of just say to everybody, we'd come up with some type of a structure on how we're going to do it, but make it available to staff that if you want it, come and get it. You got to get it out of here and get it to wherever you want to take it. But we're still working through that, and needed to kind of define a process so that it was equitable for everyone, and everyone had an opportunity if they were interested to get over there. Because I've heard that some people have already put their names on things. I've heard that rumor. But we want to make it fair for everybody. So, because there's some decent furniture over there that could definitely be, it has more life in it. So once we have more details of that worked out, we'll let everybody know. So, any questions for me about anything? Oh, yeah.
So you're waiting until y'all come up with a plan before we can go further?
Yeah, we probably, I think by the end of this month, it's just Matt, the lead maintenance guy, is out on vacation this week. We just have one guy. It's just kind of a timing thing of them being able to go through it and get the dumpster here and throw away the junk. But I think by the end of the month, we'll have something. And like I said, we'll communicate something out to everybody so that, everybody has an equal opportunity to if they're interested. So, any other questions? Well, thank you all. Appreciate all you do every day. The backbone of what goes on here. So, appreciate it. Thanks.
All right, so I just wanted to talk a little bit about compassion. We are going to talk a little bit about a compassion training we have coming up next month that I'm really excited about. But first, right now I just wanted to talk a little bit about self-compassion, because I think it's important for us to recognize that if we're going to care for others and be interacting with others, living out our value of compassion, we also have to have that self-compassion, that self-recognition of what we are experiencing. And so I just wanted to talk a little bit about the idea of a self-check-in. We do it with elders. We use the faces or numbers. How are you feeling today? What are you experiencing? What kind of pain are you having? But I think it's something that we need to be doing with ourselves as well. If you think about that chart with the faces, taking that time to think about for ourselves, where is it that we are on that chart? Where is it that we're on the feelings chart? How is it that we're feeling? Taking that moment to acknowledge the feeling and recognize why. And I think that it's important for us to recognize that so that we can have that acknowledgement, understand why we're feeling that way, and then figure out a way for us to kind of take that moment that we need for it and either move on to address it or be able to set it aside for now if we need to. Like this morning, I was very frustrated with my 4-year-old son, who does not like to do things on the timeline that I want him to do it on. And so I was very frustrated with him this morning, and I had to take that second to say, you know what, I have this frustration, and some of it might be because he woke me up early, but everything he's doing is age appropriate. So it's not fair for me to be taking out those feelings on him at that moment. And it's not fair for me to bring that frustration to work in the morning, when I interact with my peers or when I interact with an elder. So having that time throughout the day to have that self-check-in and recognize, what is it that I'm feeling? How is it that I can acknowledge those feelings, do something about it, and then interact with the people I'm interacting with our own compassion and excellence and customer service and all of those things that we do here. So I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about that to remind ourselves that we need to do that for ourselves, in addition to our elders every single day. And then I just wanted to go ahead and mention a few things that are coming up, some employee events that we have coming up. October 2nd, we're going to have the food truck back. And then, like I mentioned, that compassion training, that's going to take the place of the clinical staffing meetings that we've had that have been kind of a bi-monthly thing for our clinical staff. The compassion training is going to take place of that. The spots are limited for each one, and so we're going to do sign-ups, and we want as many people signed up as we can for those compassion trainings. I think it's going to be really great. We have someone coming in to do this training. It's gonna be about an hour interactive session. So I'll have some information coming out about that. And then I'm working with Allison. She'll be putting in the training hours for that in the specific categories that will count for Healthcare Academy. So going to that training will get some of those Healthcare Academy hours that you need. And then we're working with Lisa with activities to plan something for Halloween. We would love to be able to get kids in here, do some trick or treating. You know, we'll be getting that information out once we kind of get that.
Sunday before.
What is it?
Sunday before Halloween.
Okay.
Probably on a Monday, so it'll be that Sunday.
Perfect.
Next week.
Okay,
I just
Sunday.
put it on the calendar.
All right, awesome. So we'll get that information out about bringing kids in, and we're working with Allison, of course, to make sure that it's as safe as possible. But I think it's going to be a lot of fun for the residents and for our families to bring kids in and, you know, get to see Halloween costumes and all that kind of stuff. So very excited about that. All right, and then a couple other things going on around the campus is that our Galen students that are on site right now, they're finishing up this week. This is their last week for this semester. They start their next semester on 9/29, and that will go through December. We're gonna have 3 different groups, or we actually have 4, I think, different classes that will be coming on Wednesday, or Monday, 2 on Wednesday, and then 1 on Thursday. So that's always a great opportunity for us to make those connections with our future possible employees. So we look forward to them coming. And then we have lots of activities with the Alzheimer's Association walk raising money that we're doing right now. We've raised about $100 with the bake sale, so thank you so much for everybody who participated with that. And then we're selling the forget-me-not flowers at the front desk, so that's ongoing. And then we have our casual for a cause on Tuesdays, so please pay your $1 on Tuesdays at the front desk to get your sticker to wear for that, to show your support. And then we're gonna have a pancake breakfast on September 21st in the personal care dining room. So come to work hungry that morning, ready to eat some pancakes with us. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And then we'll also have information there that if you want to register to join our team and go to the walk on October 15th, we'll get you signed up that morning as well. And so just kind of be ready for that. I think it's we've got a lot of fun events going on. So looking forward to all the different things we have.
Thanks, Erin, and thank you, Craig. Hi, everybody, I'm Mary Haynes. It's a pleasure to see you this afternoon. Thanks for taking time out of your busy day to come down and try to do things that bring us together in the midst of all of our busy weeks and going in multiple directions. I know that we all have so many immediate priorities. I like to think of these town hall times as a way we can share some priorities. So tonight, we'll be hosting our board of directors meeting here on this campus. I'm so excited about that because I want all those board members to see and take in all the good work that you're doing. We have 10 board members, about 6 of them will have never been to this campus before, so they're very curious about it and excited to learn. And I just want to thank you all for doing all that you do and having something great to show off. I always say I take the mile-high view. I'm sure that in the course of your day, you've got a lot of stresses and strains and aggravations. But as I take the big picture view, I just see so many improvements continuing to be made here. And I want to thank you for that. And I want to share a little bit of detail about that. So first of all, I'd like to say that we're having some good, some bittersweet, but some good leadership changes in the organization. Most of you know that Jennifer Smith, who was the first person that I hired when I came to Nazareth Home 21 years ago, Jennifer left for another career, and we're excited about that change, but it's left a big void because clearly she did a lot more than being an HR director. We did a lot of things together, and I really thank her for all that she did to make sure that we stay as straight as we do in doing what we say and following through. So we are recruiting for an HR director. What the new person will do may or may not be exactly what Jennifer did. We're always looking, as I think you should, anytime there's a change, you look at that process, try to find an improvement, try to see if there's a way to help other people grow in the process. We'd already begun, Craig and I, looking at how we could create a path for another administrator on both of our campuses. So we've identified Sharon Weichert and Ashley Cochran, who both have been with the organization. They have master's degrees, they've been in long-term care, they have an eagerness to serve, they're both great servant leaders, and we're gonna get them on the administrator track. So for them to move forward, we have to hire behind them, and we have been recruiting for 2 people on the other campus to be in the admissions area. We hired a young woman, Addison Combs, who was my student intern 2 or 3 years ago. She graduated from Bellarmine with a healthcare administration degree. She'll start on the 27th of September. She will backfill the job that Ashley is currently in. So within a month, Ashley will be ready to move here as your assistant administrator. Ashley, because of her experiences, she will have the admissions department, she'll have social work department, she'll have activities department, and she will manage the switchboard and greeting reception area. That way she will have all of those services that really touch the people that we face with, their families, the connected parties, those stakeholders. One of our values, as we all know, is hospitality. So that's really that characteristic that she will have ownership of. And then when we're in the licensed facility space, we had a director of quality and compliance a few years ago. So we want to build some of those components also into this assistant administrator role. So back to the HR director, we have a lot of applicants for that position. As I said to the team across town, I don't want you to think I'm moving slow because there's nobody to hire. There are people to hire. It's just a very important hire. And I want to make sure that we get a team of people like Craig, Melissa, others on that interview group because this is an important role, and I want to take our time and find the right person. I think that's all of that. Yeah. Craig's already talked to you about the independent living apartments that we've added, and that we will be increasing the licensed bed count through this CON change. So here is some really good news that I want to make sure you see and know. So we all know we're in, it's a changing workplace, right? The Great Resignation, you hear and read about it. So through COVID, we lost a lot of people. It was really hard to work at skilled nursing. It's still hard to work in skilled nursing. We're all sitting here with masks on, and we are still very aggressive in all of our prevention. And so it makes us maybe not the easiest place to work, but clearly we're a meaningful place to work. We're a great place to work because of what we get to do. So here's your results on that. In January, we had 32 open positions. We closed out the month of August with 20 open positions. So that means you all are doing a great job with your welcoming and hospitality and giving a sister and brother a hand up and a leg up and helping them get started at work. Starting a new job is hard. We all know that. And we're all here to serve. We're here to serve. We're here to help. It's our job to help everybody, especially new people that are taking a chance on us to come to work. So from the mile high view, it looks like we're doing this, and I want to thank you for that. So give yourself a little hand. The same at the other campus. We've gone from 30 open in January to 17. The larger number of those, of course, are nurses because that is our largest number of staff. Each time we're together, I like to show you this, just because I think it's responsible. So just a minute on this, I want to say that I know that we all often feel pressed, you feel like we don't have enough staff, but here's how we measure up to the state and the national when it comes to the people we work. So what I want to draw your attention to is this total number of nurse staff hours per resident day. For the last 3 months, our average is 4 hours and 15 minutes, as opposed to the national and Kentucky, which are not quite 4 hours. So we are staffing that much better in the nursing piece of what we do than all of our peers. Often we are not 4-star, often we are only 4-star on staffing. We continue to be a 5-star nursing center. Our nursing staffing is often at 4. Here's the reason why. Our RN hours per resident day are less than the national average. But I want to call your attention to the LPN hours. Our LPN hours are 1 hour and 27 minutes, as opposed to the national of less than an hour of both Kentucky and the state. So for us and for what we do, in my view, our staffing patterns are good. They're solid. They're very responsible. We couldn't have the QIs and QMs and all the other stars that we have if that weren't so. And for all RN needs, we're backing up those hours with LPN. There you go. And it's the same, you know, on the Highlands campus. We're well ahead of all the benchmarks. But again, the RN hours, we're 4-star there too. We were 3-star on the other campus on RNs. Last quarter we came up. Vaccination rates, great. Thanks to all of you for what you did to step up to take those shots. Great percentages, again, well ahead of the benchmark, and the same on the other campus. So, very good. I want to introduce Carrie Burns. I think all of you have met Melissa Bailey, who's here being the Vanna White. Carrie Burns has just joined our organization as Director of Development. We're thrilled to have Carrie. You're going to be seeing and hearing a lot from her, because again, there's a lot that you do here that we can promote, give stories about, share the message, a lot of great work. And so Carrie will be helping us tell our stories and encouraging other people to get on board with us in funding some of those ministries and missions. I don't know if you want to say anything about.
Thanks so much. I've met some of you and look forward to meeting others. And like Mary said, I can't do my job without our stories and the wonderful things that we do that I can share with the community. So if you have anything, feel free to share with me anytime, email, call, text. But that's what people want to hear, our good stories and get behind us with funding, hopefully.
Yeah, people want to hear what other people are doing. So that's all my prepared remarks. I'm happy to hang around. Any question or feedback that you have for me, I'm always eager to hear it, because I want to try to say and do for you what you're interested in. So I appreciate the feedback always. All right. Thank you all.
Thank you.